Okay, this is Idiocy. We're doing a replay analysis looking at Irelia into Tryn. This is Silver 4. So a couple of things that we're going to be looking at is the balancing between CSing and trading. And I'm also looking at just kind of the risk-taking overall. Your average deaths per game are a little high, as I'm looking at your profile. And that can be explained by a number of things, but they're a little higher than I would like to see, and so that often can mean just taking risks that aren't kind of high risk, low reward type scenarios where you're not really thinking through your end game. So we'll take a look at that as well. Oops, okay. This is fine. You're in a place where you can join if something really starts to go down, but these kind of scenarios are just so 50-50, especially at low elo, that there's no need to commit too hard to it. So Tryn has the ability to be pretty tough early on. He can bring a lot of AD, and as his passive stacks up, he's bringing 84 into lane. As his passive stacks up, he can get pretty beefy. Or not his passive, but his rage. Because of his passive, he starts hitting pretty hard. So I'm kind of just going to be looking for now at just how you are CSing and the decisions you're making. Okay. So you're just kind of moving really weird right now. You kind of let him walk up to you and trade with you, and it seemed like maybe you were looking at something else, or maybe you were lagging a little bit or something, but you just thought to let him walk right up to you and hit you, and you weren't really in position or putting yourself in a place where you could do anything about it. And even just there, that's just something you gotta... You are stronger than him. I mean, Irelia is able to bully him. Maybe not super hard real early like this, but you certainly shouldn't be getting traded on. It's just it's positioning, and it's being aware of what he is likely to do next by watching your own minions. So the biggest thing I'm noticing right now is you're giving him just a ton of respect. Okay, so this is a little thing. I'm going to go back and we're going to look at this, because this lane phase is pretty important, because Irelia can snowball so hard off of a strong lane phase, so I just want to look at a couple of these things. Okay, so I'm going to slow it down. Okay, so you can kind of predict that, when he is going to look for something like this. I'm going to go back even a little further. So, okay, so right now, what's the situation? You've got two minions that you need to be last hitting right here, and then one more that's going to be coming up in the near future here. He's got these three aren't anywhere near, there's a few beats before these are going to be needing to be last hit. So that's a situation where you can be looking at, because he doesn't have anything better to do than walk up and hit you. He has a minion advantage. He doesn't have any minions that need to be last hit right immediately. So if he were to go up and auto attack you, worst case scenario, he takes a couple of these three minions might hit him, but if you hit him back, all 6 of these minions maybe hit him, but you probably won't even be able to hit him back because you're going to be busy CSing, and he doesn't have anything better to do than go up and hit you. So these are the kind of situations where it depends on, you just need to be ready for it. It's not even that you're going to back off and not give up CS and not CS, but you need to be ready for it. Maybe you position a little closer, a little up this side a little bit more, so that you're closer to the brush. Okay, so he's choosing to push. And you could be punishing that. You could be punishing that too. See? So in that situation, instead of hitting that minion, because you hit it too soon, and now you put yourself, yeah. So I'm just going to back a little bit. Okay. So right now you go for this one. You get that one. That's great. This one isn't quite ready to go yet, so you can just wait. These minions are going to attack it now. You hit it too soon, and that's a moment where you could have attacked him because he was busy attacking this thing. He spent his auto attack cooldown to attack this one. You can trade to him there. Again, it's a little risky at level 1, but either way, it's just so you either need to tighten up your CSing mechanics, but you also want to be looking for opportunities to hit him while he's busy. When he goes to auto attack something, he's spending the animation time, the wind-up animation time, the auto attack time, and then he's got to wait for the auto attack to come up above cooldown before he can do anything. So you've got a window of a little bit of time where he can't actually hurt you at all, and he's got 0.81 attack speed, so he's attacking less than once per minute. So so he's got one auto attack, which is he's spending on a minion, and so you've got, and as he walks up to it and stuff, you've got a couple of seconds, really, a window that you have potential to be able to mess with him. So you don't need to rush that last hitting that minion. So that's just a little mistake. I understand that's a little mechanical mistake. That's an easy one to just practice and fix. But throughout this whole laning phase, you could be looking for opportunities to bully him. And right now, oops, I didn't mean to go back. Okay, so right now there is zero reason for you to stand here. Like, what are you gonna do? You might be able to, auto attack him as he goes for this minion. But if you do, he can attack you. He's got a full rage bar, and then you don't have your stun up yet, and he's got these 3 minions. So he's got full rage bar here, 3 minions here, and there's nothing for you to get. You're not going to be able to walk up here and take these 3 minions, because he'll just attack you, and they'll all attack you at once because they don't have anything to attack as soon as this minion goes down. So there's there's no reason for you to stand here, and you know that he's going to start looking to go aggressive as soon as he doesn't have anything to CS. Again, if there's nothing for him to go for, there's a good chance he just goes for you, which is exactly what happens here. So you position kind of strange, and then you pause here. So I'm not sure what that is. That's just kind of a mechanical thing, I guess, or I'm not sure what the mistake there was. And he crits you because of his passive. So now that's just a trade that you didn't even want to mess with. You didn't want to take that trade, and he came out pretty far ahead in it. You got about maybe a quarter of his health, and he got more than half of yours. Speed up a little bit again. And you need to be using. I would start. Yeah, I mean, I guess I would really start with your Q versus most lanes. You don't need to be playing so defensive versus Tryn. He does hit really hard if he gets his passive stacked up, and you need to respect that. But you're giving him just an awful lot of respect, and the reason that he's doing so well is because he doesn't have anything else to think about. You're not really making him choose between CSing or getting harassed. And from early on, if you had been more aggressive in the lane, you could have potentially hit level 2 before him, especially if you took your Q. That makes last hitting a lot easier, or from range. And then if you hit level 2 first, then suddenly you've got your stun and your Q, and he's at level 1, and he's got just his spinning slash. So then if he chooses to go in on you, then you have a pretty solid answer. And this is, again, you're kind of picking really weird times to try to trade on him. If he, luckily, if you hit him right here, you're probably dead, because every single one of these guys is going to turn on you immediately and start attacking you. So at this point, right now, because of the way the early lane phase has gone, at this point you just need to hunker under your turret and just let this wave hit it and last hit it, and not even worry about trading. Yeah, because now you take that's an auto attack's worth of damage right there, and he didn't even have to hit you. Whoa, okay. Okay, so yeah, so that's the kind of thing you can do. That's okay. I'm not sure why you want to be walking all the way up here though, because now you're taking a bunch of minion aggro. You're taking an awful lot of minion aggro. Yeah, see, this is why I would have taken Blade Surge at level 1. It just gives you a lot more ability to dance in and out. And you are really hard to target and hit. It's really hard to even keep track of Irelia with Blade Surge. And so, oh yeah, so you don't want to... maybe that might have been a misclick. But you cannot attack him in a full wave of minions. You got to pick your moments. And if you're going to go in on him, you got to go in on him and stun him. And then immediately back off. But you, at this point... you know, if you can get up to him and hit him while he is busy doing something else, then sure. But as low as you are and into a big wave like that, I'm assuming that was a misclick. I'm assuming you were trying to go for a last hit and you accidentally clicked him, or something like that. Oh yikes! Okay, so he flashed. So you can time that. Just reach over into chat and type, you know, Tryn Flash. So overall, up till this point, you've given him just a lot of respect that he didn't earn. From level 1, you were giving him a lot of respect that he didn't earn. Wow, that was really aggressive. You let him push the wave really fast without bothering him. Which means he hit level 2 first, which means he can put a lot of pressure on you. You want to be looking for opportunities to trade with Tryn as he's going to CS. So you want to be looking for, you keeping an eye on your minions and looking for an opportunity to hit him when one of your minions is low and he wants to last hit it. And ideally when none of his minions are low, so you don't need to last hit. But every time one of your minions is last hittable, that's a moment in time when Tryn is going to be distracted doing something else. And so that's a moment that you can take advantage of. And you want to be shoving right now. Not waiting till last hit, you want to be shoving because he's gone. You want to shove, and that'll give you an opportunity to go throw your ward down. Because you can't freeze it. Your wave is already built up too big. When you have a minion advantage like this, then you're never going to be able to freeze it. It's just going to keep pushing by itself. And so you might as well try to shove it to lane, or shove it to his turret as quickly as possible to make him burn his teleport. Because you had to burn your teleport to get back to lane, and so now he has TP advantage. So if his team goes for dragon or something, or there's a gank bottom or something, he can get to bot and you are stuck up here. And so what you want to try to do yeah. So yeah, so he's got a big damage advantage on you now too, and sustain. So anyway, you want to be trying to burn his teleport anyway. If you can ever force him to burn his TP to get back to lane, that's a trade you want to try to go for. Especially if your teleport is down. Because if you can burn it while your teleport is up, that's great. Now you have TP advantage. But barring that, you want to make sure that he does not have TP advantage. Yeah, see, at this point, given the way the lane is, you can afford to give up CS in order to not get auto-attacked on so hard. So when he leaves you like that and he pushes under a turret, you can clean it up pretty consistently with your Blade Surge. But like this, yeah, you don't even want to mess with this CS right now. It sucks, but at this point he can jump on you and kill you whenever he wants to. because your flash is down. He's got a slow. He's got his ult if he wants to turret dive you. You have enough sustain with your ult that he probably needs to be a little bit careful still. But if you're far enough away from your turret that you can't run back to it fast enough, then he can delete you at a moment's notice. So this is, I mean, this can be smart to try to do this. I guess that's okay. He didn't punish you for it at all. You don't need to worry too much. Oh, yikes. Good stun. But you're probably dead. Yeah. So this is just kind of something that you just need to think through maybe a little bit more. I'm going to back up and look at this again. So right now, you don't really need to worry too much about this. Is a time you probably want to be thinking about going back to base anyway, because your flask is down and you are really low on health, and he has full health and his ult and an item advantage on you, so he can turret dive you basically whenever he wants. And so for you to not only sticking around in general is kind of risky, but then to try to tank this minion wave when you don't have any real sustain right now other than what's built into your kit. You know, this is something you could either ult this wave to try to reset it and give yourself some breathing room to recall, or you just let it come into your turret and use Blade Surge to last hit. You can last hit. You've been last hitting really well with Blade Surge, but you tank it and you get super low. You know, you've got 250 health here, 200 health now, just over, and he knows that. And so, you know, you play this well enough that with your ult and stuff, that if you even had, you know, if you even had an extra 100 health, he would have had to spend one more auto attack to kill you, and the turret probably would have killed him at that point. I think. He may have still gotten out. But if you hadn't tanked that wave, there's a good chance that he probably wouldn't have dived you, and if he did, there's a good chance you would have been able to get out. Or at least go 1 for 1. So right now, Tryn does just have an advantage on you. You are not going to be able to fight him at all, no matter, even if it's in a good position like this is with all your minions. He has enough sustain, and he hits hard enough, and can just run away. So well, I guess his ult is down right now, so that's fine for you to be pressuring right there, I guess. But as soon as his ult comes back off cooldown, he's not gonna have any respect for you. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Nice. That was a really nice roam by Anivia. Okay, your teleport is up. You're pushing the turret. Tryn's TP is up, which you should be aware of, since he hasn't had to use it yet. Okay, now you type Tryn's TP into chat. You know he just used it on a minion, so it's even longer cooldown than if he had used it on a turret. So now you have teleport advantage, and you can communicate that to your team, that you have TP and Tryn does not. So this is a good time to try to be looking to gank bot and pick up dragon. There's really no reason to teleport there. You can, I mean, you know, teleport if something starts to go down. But if you can ever afford to walk to lane, just walk to lane. Always opt to walk to lane to where you're going. Unless there is a clear and present reason for you to try to get there immediately. As soon as you teleport, they can see you on the Fog of War. The ward shows up, so they can see you coming in. And so you burned teleport to get down there and didn't really get anything for it. If you'd walked, you know, this would still be going down pretty much. And now you don't have TP to get back to top. Good. Okay. So you pick up dragon, don't dive. Ah. So greedy. Okay, so this is just this is kind of a common sort of low elo mindset sort of a thing. So, okay, so right now, you guys, you're picking up dragon. You know Tryn just took top. So, what is this, I mean, even if you kill her, what does this really gain you? This kill right now. And what is it costing you? So it'll get, if you were to pick up the kill, then you get 300 gold. Because she doesn't have any, yeah, she's not on a spree or anything, so you get 300 gold. And maybe a couple of your teammates get an assist. So you get some team gold, and that's not nothing at all, especially early on. It's something, and so if she's an easy kill, then sure. But you gotta weigh the cost versus cost-benefit ratio here. So you're chasing her. If you can kill her right now, it's okay. Okay, now you spent your ult. What else are we spending? You hit her. And... okay, so you didn't burn... well, the flash was already down. Okay, so you burned your ult, which is not a major deal, because Irelia's ult is not a super long cooldown. That's time that you could have spent, though, pressuring or responding to Tryn here, because Tryn is just going to become a split-pushing machine. And if he has a chance to just freely push a lane, he's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. He already took one turret, he's just automatically going to keep pressuring to the next one. You could swing back up and relieve Anivia. She's out of mana, this turret is really low, Vlad's going to be pressuring it in, he can probably pick this up, because Anivia can't defend it without any mana. It's time that you guys all spent turret diving and trying to kill this Sivir, that immediately if you just turn and, you know, go here and push this turret, you probably get this turret. Or you come here and gank Vladimir and you probably get this turret. Or at least keep this turret from going down. Or you just immediately recall and you come back and Tryn doesn't have any time to get any damage on this turret. They might even pick this up if they both try to go for it. Yeah. Yeah, so you gotta look at it again. You got dragon and you lost a turret. So you lost a turret for dragon. You also picked up a kill. So, you know, that's turret gives more gold and dragon is an investment down for late game. So, you know, you can kind of call that, it's not an even trade because it does help Tryndamere's team out more in the near future because the gold injection is nice, but it doesn't help. The dragon is not a direct trade, but it's like I say, it's an investment. And so since you guys picked up a kill, it's okay. It's an even trade, give or take a little bit. You picked up dragon and a kill for a turret, but then you chase Sivir and you end up burning cooldowns and you waste a lot of time doing it and you don't get her. It was a risky thing. You probably, I mean, it was, you know, you don't know if she has heals, if she has flash, what cooldown she has up. You're not sure. You know, she has a spell shield, so she's going to at least be able to get away from one form of CC or damage that you guys can throw out. And so, you know, and because of her ult and because of the positioning that she was in, she's not going to be easy to kill. And so it's going to be an investment to try to kill her. And so what is it going to cost you? Well, it costs you your inner turret. That's massive. Even if you had killed her, that wouldn't be worth it at all. And so, you know, that's time that you could spend getting back into the game and not just chasing for a kill. You got to remember that kills are a means to an end. They are not an end in and of themselves. Kills do two things for you. They give you gold, so you can buy items and get stronger. and they give you a numbers advantage on the map for you to take, which make it easier to take objectives. And so the gold is certainly not nothing, but in this case, even if you had gotten that kill, you would have given up a lot more gold to the enemy team than you would have gained by killing Sivir. That's good. Plus you lost a turret. And so that's time you could have spent, yeah, pressuring another lane, pressuring an objective while Morgana was down. While you know Tryndamere's up here, you can pressure mid or bot. But so be really careful about tunneling on kills, because kills do not win games. Okay, gonna speed up a little bit here. So the nice thing about Irelia is that as soon as you start hitting your item, your item thresholds, you can you can come back into a game even after losing lane phase. And so, if you sense yourself getting behind in lane, that's okay. You just kind of, you want to play it safe, bide your time. The rest of your team was doing A-okay, and so it wasn't like, it's not going into crisis mode where you have to carry or no one is going to be able to. So you bide your time, you just play it safe. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow. That was... that was crazy. Okay, I'm going to speed this up a little bit here. Okay, so this is just a kind of an overall gameplay strategy thing. So right now, you know that Tryndamere wants to split push, because he's Tryndamere. And he's building for split pushing, and that's what he's done so far. So you know that he's just going to sit top and split push in all likelihood. You know he has teleport, so he could potentially join a team fight, so you need to be aware of that. But he is likely going to push, and since this turret is down and this turret is down, it's going to be a while before he is in range to threaten anything. So you know that this is a good time to pressure another objective, because you don't, if he's going to be doing this, then again, you want to be making it cost him something to be up there away from his team. And you don't have a lot of time to mess around either, because he is going to get through this wave and the next wave fairly quickly. So you guys want, like you're doing, you want to group up and pressure an objective while you have a numbers advantage, to either stop him from pushing and burn his teleport, or to at least cost him a turret for split pushing. I'm not sure what happened there. Yeah, you just overstayed. This is dangerous because you're melee. So in this situation, Jinx is your turret killer. Nivea and Brand can hit it too. But your job in this scenario is not really to hit the turret. It's kind of too dangerous for you to actually hit the turret, because they've got Udyr CC, Vlad has a lot of damage. You know Morgana's off to the side here. She's got her binding. And so you want to it's not worth it for you to be walking up and hitting the turret in this situation. You want to be protecting Jinx. Because, yeah, now, every time you walk up to her, you have to put yourself in so much danger to auto-attack this turret. Whereas if you can just stand next to Jinx and just be a buffer for her and peel for her, then she has a lot more confidence about just sticking around and auto-attacking this turret. And if she's able to get more auto-attacks off, that's going to do more damage than you dancing in and out of this situation. And so, you know, this is your job right now, is to protect this champion while you are trying to siege a turret like this. For you to actually go in and damage it yourself, that's something you do if you have a gigantic numbers advantage, or you just want a big fight, or they're elsewhere on the map or something. In this situation, you're sieging, which means that you are letting your ranged champions do the damage while you are looking to protect your ranged champions from getting aggressed on. So you had to burn your flash, Brand's ends up dying. And now Tryndamere's probably going to get some hurt on this turret too, depending on how fast he's able to push it. But whatever the case, even if he doesn't get a lot of damage on this turret, and yeah, which he's going to, you probably can't kill it, but okay. So your team actually responded fairly well to that overall. I'm not sure why they didn't keep pressuring this turret. Anivia must have been wave clearing. Okay, so that didn't go as bad as I was fearing it might. What could have happened potentially there is because they killed Brand and you were down really low. You've got a situation you have to respond to in this lane, and so they knew that they could pressure 4v2 this lane, or 4v3 this lane, or 5v3. Or 4v3 because Tryndamere's top lane, sorry, math. And Nivea's wave clear kind of saved you. Ah. Okay, you do have TP up. This is the time you want to be TPing in. Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. If you're split pushing like this, this is fine, but look at the situation in the lane right now. So you have set up a... This is a slow push already. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the cannon. So 10 total minions in this lane to their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they have double the minions. You've got a 5 minion advantage. If you can set up a 5 minion advantage, even a 4 minion advantage in a lane like this, it's going to continue to split push all the way till it hits this turret or somebody comes to deal with it. And so, and you know, if Tryndamere shows up, you can probably tangle with Tryndamere right now. He's not so far ahead of you that you can't tangle with him. You have enough CC, but it's going to be risky. It could kind of go either way, especially with his ult. And so you've already set this up to push. And so this is going to push. It'll kill those minions. It'll push. It'll hit the next wave maybe right about here, or here maybe. And then this wave will catch up, and then it'll continue to push. And somebody's going to have to come deal with it, which it looks like that's what Tryndamere's going to do. So you've already succeeded in pulling somebody away from the team fight or from this situation. Tryndamer was dead, I guess, so you know you have a numbers advantage. You have 4, so you know what so you're thinking that Tryndamer is going to be coming up, and so you've set up a slow push, and Tryndamer is going to be attracted to this like a moth to the flame. So you've got a big wave set up. It's going to push here. You can almost count on it that Tryndamer will come to this lane to deal with the wave and start pushing, both because he's Tryndamer and he loves split pushing, and also because it's a big minion wave. So you've already accomplished your task here. You actually accomplished it back here. And so this is the situation where you want to be looking to join your team for this fight. If you come in while this is going down, while Brand is throwing his ult down, and you teleport right to this ward, you probably win the fight for your team, to be honest. If you can obliterate either of these ones, any of these 3, and your team can jump on them with you, even though Jinx is down. There's a chance Tryndamer could respond and counter teleport. But then you just disengage, and that's not the end of the world. But you don't really gain anything by being here yourself. All you're doing is letting the enemy team know that you're not a factor. There's not really a realistic chance that you can get that turret because you know Tryndamer is coming up. And so for you to actually be in this lane is just removing pressure from the map, because you already accomplished the objective of getting somebody to come and deal with the wave. just by creating a big wave. So unless you're able to actually be pressuring an objective, it's not worth it to be up here and split pushing when your team is fighting. As Irelia, you are just such a strong team fighter. In most situations and in most team comps, you want to err on the side of being with your team. Okay. Oops. Oh, yikes. Actually sped up more than I meant to there. This is so greedy. Don't do this. Why would you do this? Ah, he's Tryndamere, dude. He's gonna heal like 300 health here with just that rage bar. The greed. Okay, how much gold do you have right now? Okay, you have boots, you have Trinity Force, and you have not enough gold for. I mean, this is just so risky. I mean, look at him. Yeah, I mean, even just without even spending his rage bar, he's back up to 1,000 health almost. Don't do that. You know, that's a situation where in the time that you did that, you could have recalled and then been back to defend this turret. And then you come back with full health, and since his ult is down, you can beat him full health to full health without his ult. But you kind of tunneled on it and lost the turret for it. Okay. So your team is responding pretty well and pressuring the map like that. Getting objectives off of a fight. You are responding to this. That's good. This is you're going to be pinging your team to come join you here too, because Udyr is kind of caught out of position right now. Not that you need them. Nice. Yeah, so now just recall. Recall. There's no reason for you to stick around super low health like that. Just go back and spend the gold. And get to a point where you can be super aggressive like that again. Yeah. So you kind of end up deciding you need to recall, but you could have done that a while ago and then, you know, been able to be back in here and being a threat for all that period of time. So the thing with Tryndamere, this is just in general. So the thing that Tryndamere is really good at is Tryndamere is really good at split pushing. He's very good at creating a lot of pressure in a single lane and drawing attention to that lane because he can push quickly. He can be pretty safe about it with his spinning slash. He has teleport, so he can run away from a lane and then recall right or teleport right back to it. So he is very good at doing that. And pretty much no matter what happens in lane, he will eventually become a split pushing monster. He's kind of like Nasus in that way, that pretty much, unless you just absolutely destroy him, he will become a very strong split pusher basically no matter what. So that's what he's good at. So then what is Irelia good at? Well, Irelia is very strong in a 1v1. Irelia is extremely strong in team fights when she gets a couple of items. I'm going to look at that again in just a second here. Irelia is very strong in team fights when you get a couple of items. You have a lot of CC, you have the ability to dive onto carries from even through a team fight and survive that situation. And so even from lane phase, you want to be thinking about that. What's your in-game, what's your mid-game going to look like? You're walking into lane, you know it's Tryndamere, you know he wants to split push. You know that even if you beat him in lane, he wants to split push. You can slow his ability to do that effectively down a lot by beating him in lane. But you want to, even from early lane phase, when you're in here in this immediate situation, you want to be looking to do a couple of things. You want to be looking to try to deny as much CS as possible to him. You want to be or to establish as much of a CS lead as possible and pick up a kill if you can. Which, depending on how cocky he plays, is definitely a possibility once you hit level 3 anyway. And so you gave him a lot of respect, a lot of breathing room early for him to do his thing. And you didn't really pressure him on CS. You let him push in and get level 2, which set the tone for the whole rest of the lane phase. You kind of played really timid versus him, and eventually he got far enough ahead that you had to play timid versus him. There was a couple of moments after level 6 where you showed aggression at good times, and that's good. You could have been doing that for most of the lane phase. You know, you can afford to. You don't want to just go balls to the wall on Tryndamere, because in a straight 1v1 he'll win, and if you go super aggressive early on, you're going to be in his minion wave likely. And so yeah, you'll just give him a kill if you do that. What you can do is use your Blade Surge, or yeah, you can, or if you do start E, if you position well, then you can do it with your E as well. But you want to be looking for him to walk up and CS, and while he's CSing, you stun him and you trade with him and then walk away. And then, you know, then if he chases you into your minion wave early on, then that's to your advantage. You can win that just fine. Instead, he kind of hit you a couple of times and you got scared and you just gave him the lane, basically. You picked up a kill or two on him eventually, but by then it was kind of too late. He was already big enough to do his thing. And so that's the the lane phase. You gave him too much respect early. And you ended up giving up a fair amount. You did okay in CS. You came out a lane phase actually pretty even in CS, around 70 each. But he's just stacked it up since then. So you kept up in CS okay, but you gave him the lane because you gave him a lot of lane pressure and a couple of kills. And then as you move into the mid game, you know that Tryndamere is going to be good at split pushing, and so your goal is going to be to try to do other things. You are not really going to want to try to beat Tryndamere at the split pushing game, because that's what he excels at. And if you're constantly going top lane to deal with Tryndamere, then he is probably going to beat you enough of the times, you know, especially given the fact that he won lane phase. You are not going to be able to reliably 1v1 Tryndamere while he's split pushing. And so if you end up doing that, you're going to spend all your time in top lane, and you're probably not going to be very successful at it. Whereas you can be amazing in 4v5 team fights. And so you want to be, from early on, basically from level 6 on, start joining the fight around the map, start impacting the map. Because if you let Tryndamere get to the point where he's doing his thing, then you're playing right into the kind of game he wants to play. And the way you beat a split pusher is to annihilate his team in that 4v5 and take more objectives than he's able to take. You punish him for not being in the team fight. And then if he has to burn his teleport to join a team fight, then you can back off and then you just do it again. And next time you won't have teleport. Yeah, so here he comes. So now you have to respond to him because he's pressuring your turret, or he will be soon. See, okay, so that's just an experience thing. You need to check his items. What has he got before you go in on him aggressive like that? This is just, you have to respect Tryndamere. Even if you are able, you have to be thinking, I have to be able to not only get him to 0 health, but I have to get him to 0 health and then still be able to kill him after he's, at 1 health for 5 seconds after he pops his ult. You either have to be able to kill him so fast he can't react in time and cast his ult, which you are not going to be able to do as Irelia. Some assassins might be able to do that. But you have to be able to get him down to 0 health fast enough that after he pops his ult, you can still fight him for 5 seconds and come out ahead. You have to be very far ahead of Tryndamere at this point in the game to be able to do that. So to just jump on him aggressively like that is kind of insane. What you want to do is you just want to stall him. If he's gonna chase you, you just be back here. If he's gonna spinning slash through and chase you, then that slows down his split push, and so be it. You just back off. But to just try to run up and just man mode him. That's not going to work out very often. And they might get Baron off of it here too. Yeah. Wow! Oh my gosh. They just handed you the ultimate wombo combo. Oh, don't go here, go here. Oh my gosh! No! Okay, so your team wins this fight. You gotta look at the map. Don't tunnel on mid lane, just because it's mid lane. Don't do that. Your team is right here. They can easily come right down here and get this in just a couple of seconds and shove mid as 4 people. You do not need to teleport here. You guys just won a fight massively. There's only 1 person alive. And so why would you teleport to this lane? Your team has this covered. They're going to run right down here. They are. You can ping it and let them know to do it, but you don't need to spend that teleport here. Teleport here. You've got a gigantic wave. You can get this turret while your team is pushing mid, and then you can get 2 inhibitor turrets, very likely, before they're able to respawn. You'll at least get this inhibitor turret that your team gets, and this turret. Instead, you're probably only going to get 1 turret, and that's if your team responds as quickly as they should. Which they are not. Oh my gosh. Why is Anivia going to the top lane? We don't know. Vi is kinda low, so yeah, maybe she needs to recall, but not really, because the only person alive is Vlad. So when you guys win a team fight, you need to be telling your... this is not something you can control, obviously. These are your teammates, so you can't directly control them. In general, though, if you are ever in this situation and you win a fight like this and you have 5 people alive and they have 1 person alive, unless you have like 100 health, then just push. What's Vlad gonna do to Vi? This is so questionable. Why is Anivia going top lane when you have 2 lanes set up to push beautifully, mid and bot? Yeah, Anivia can push really fast, but that's why you need her here to shove this down super fast. So again, same situation here. Oh wow, yeah, see, it took you guys so long to actually push that. Is Anivia actually going to be the only one that gets a turret? That would be actually kind of amusing. Okay, so I underestimated how long it would take you this lane to push. Even if Anivia had joined you guys, you probably would have gotten this turret. Regardless, if you had come here, you would have gotten this turret at least. So unfortunately, and this is a situation where you guys won a team fight, but they got Baron and they didn't lose anything else. So you won a team fight, and that's great, but you weren't able to capitalize on it with any objectives, even though you had the bot lane set up kind of nicely to do that. So essentially, that's kind of a wasted team fight. Yeah, you won it, you got some kills, and that's good. But they're the ones that actually kind of came out ahead, because they got Baron, which, you know, and Vlad still has Baron, and they didn't lose anything for it. And now they're power shoving both lanes while you guys are goofing around in mid lane. Okay, you can kill him. You should be able to. Ah, maybe not. That Blade of the Rune King's slow. Shoving that lane out is a good idea. You want to be keeping those super minions as far away from your turrets as possible, for as long as possible. Okay. Well, you guys actually might win this. Because chaos. So that could have been played a lot better, but there's enough things already to kind of think about here at this point. What are you giving up? I'm actually kind of curious to see who will win this game, because you guys are actually winning fights and you're playing and you have a better team fight than they do. But they're playing the map a lot better. So we'll see who wins out in the end here. Bummer. Maybe it's a big deal. No, why would you do this? Oh my gosh, Jinx is a monster. That's why you would do it. It's so dangerous, though. Good lord. Okay, you're B. Oh, run to your team, though. Okay, so... This is insane, by the way, but you guys, I guess Jinx is fed enough that it's not that insane. Okay, so... You're chasing Tryn. That's fine. This is good. You're identifying the threat. You want to be pinging this the whole time. So now, why would you run this way, though? Plus, you know, you guys are going to lose another inhibitor turret, or nexus turret. Run this way. Your team is this way. If you know, always be trying to be thinking about how to... You be thinking the next few steps ahead. Because if you just run this way, then you're just kind of delaying your own death. Oh, nice. Luckily, Brenda's going to get close enough to save you. Okay, so Brand saved your life. But if you run up this way, your team probably could have turned and killed him. Okay. The Baron Dance. Okay, so you're looking at the situation and you're noticing that this lane is going to be pushing. You have a minion advantage here. This lane is pushing and this lane is pushing. If you just stall for long enough, eventually someone is going to go deal with one or more of those lanes. So the map is working for you right now. You just need to be patient. You guys are strong enough that you can probably force a team fight too, but it's kind of risky to do so. And if you weren't winning team fights so hard, it's a situation. This is just kind of something to look at and identify when you have the map working in your favor. I'm gonna start this fight over because I want to see what you do. Okay. So this is not terrible, but this is the threat that you want to deal with. This is the #1 threat to your carry. Jinx is winning team fights for you gigantically right now. So going for Udyr is not like bad, but Tryn was the more immediate threat because he has the way to get onto Jinx faster and is going to kill Jinx faster than Udyr will be able to. So if you all nuke Tryn down, and then you can turn on Udyr when Tryn pops his ult. You've got a few seconds of nothing to do. And then you kind of dive too hard when your team isn't in position to back you up. So go for Udyr, or go for Tryn. And now you gotta be thinking, okay, where's your damage? Your damage is not in position. So instead of diving on them like this, why not kite them back into your damage? You're kind of putting yourself, you know, you've got, I mean, these guys pump out a crap load of damage. Vlad and Sivir and Morgana has enough AP that she's doing a lot of damage. You do a fair amount of damage, but you're not crazy fed or anything. You're not going to be able to delete people. Vi is kind of your tank. She's doing a little bit of damage, but this is the carry. This is the one that's just obliterating people. So pull them into the trap. You know, Sivir has a spell shield. Morgana has a spell shield. You put yourself in a position where you're chasing them, and that means Jinx has to chase to catch up to you. And that, so yeah, just like back off this way, like just kite them this way. They will probably chase you, and if they don't, well, that's okay. You know, go push a turret or something. You've got big waves built up in both side lanes. Nice. Got an inhib, that's good. Nice. Okay, so you won that fight because of the way the map was set up. You can pretty much rely on an association like that if you get an inhibitor and the time that it takes for after you win a fight. If you go get an inhibitor, by that time they'll have respawned, and that's a time that they will probably just rush Baron. If they were smart, they would have rushed Baron as 5. But because the waves were pushing, you had set the map up previously, whether deliberately or just not without even realizing it. You set the map up a while ago to be slow pushing, so that by the time they were able to go for Baron, there was a gigantic wave here, and there's a gigantic wave here, and then of course you're pushing this, and so there's a decent wave there. So Sivir goes top, Vlad isn't there, they go in anyway as 3, and you guys murder them. So you won that fight because of the way the map was set up. They were manipulated into not committing all their forces on what they were trying to accomplish. And you can use that to your advantage. You can set the map up to do that for you, and you want to have the map working for you as often as possible. Nice. Okay, and that wins the game. Okay. So you did not play horribly that game, especially after the team fights got going. There's some things that I would have done differently in team fights, just target selection kind of stuff and just decision-making stuff, kind of tunneling on kills. You tunneled on this kill here. You do not need to get kills to win the game. You need to kill the Nexus to win the game. And if chasing after a kill is going to cost you more than it could possibly gain you, then you need to reevaluate that. And that's just something you just got to be thinking about after you win a fight or after you get an objective. If you can chase down a kill, if you can get her immediately, sure. But if not, then you ended up losing a lot for that. And then in that team fight, here you ended up dying when you probably maybe could have cleaned it up really hard if you had kited them back here. So just be thinking through the next few seconds of the team fight in your head at all times. Always try to have the map working in your favor, like it did for that last fight. That's why you won this game. That's what broke the camel's back, was the fact that the map was working for you, and so they were split up, and 3 of them went for Baron, and 2 of them did not. And so you guys were able to 5v3 them on Baron. That wins the game. Early game, you give Tryndamere a lot of respect that he didn't really earn. He kind of got lucky with a crit early on, but you need to focus on last hitting and punishing. Last hit yourself, focus on the CS primarily, and then punish when he goes to CS. Try to punish him when he is looking to CS. Never give up CS for a trade. If you can get an auto attack on your lane opponent, unless it's you see this opportunity to like go all in and like force him out of lane or kill him, then sure. But if it's just a trade where you're just trying to do damage, if you're going to lose a CS in order to trade, then don't do it. CS. But always look to CS when trade when he is looking to CS. Try to make every time he goes up to kill a minion an opportunity to make him pay for that decision. So don't give him as much respect early. Try to force your level 2. If you can get level 2 before Tryndamere, then this lane would have gone very differently. So try to push the lane hard early on, not insane, but intelligently pushing the lane hard enough early on that you can establish you get your level 2 advantage early, and then you can pressure Tryndamere instead of the other way around. And then as soon as mid game even starts to begin rolling around, start impacting the map. You have a great ability to roam and teleport and impact fights and skirmishes around the map that can really get the rest of your team snowballing very early. And then it doesn't matter how hard Tryndamere split pushes, you guys are winning the game. So, yeah, anyway, hope that was helpful overall. Just some things to think about, just decision-making wise. You seem to know Irelia fairly well, so there's just, there's mechanical things and CSing things and stuff that you can keep getting more proficient on, but overall, you're doing pretty well there. So keep working on Irelia, keep working on just basic mechanic stuff, but be thinking through your decisions and your thinking through the long game and what you're really trying to accomplish, and thinking through punishing Tryndamere harder early on when he goes to CS, and so that you can get a level advantage and start beating up on him instead of getting beat up by him for so long. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to look at the game. I really appreciate it, and best of luck.